We all wait for the second part of Path of Exile, but because beta will be released in the last quarter of this year and the full game someday in 2021, I've made a list of upcoming hack-and-slash games that will cheer you up this year. Let's begin with Torchlight 3. Previously known as a Torchlight Frontiers, game shifted its business model and became Torchlight 3. Torchlight Frontiers was an MMO game where hundreds of players could play together in a shared world, and now it's a successor of Torchlight 1 and 2. These changes were the result of alpha testing. Also, they made a thing some companies like EA Games or Blizzard thinks is illegal. You will get all the game content from day one. No secret DLCs, no additional paid content, nothing like that. I'm really proud of the game creators for such a decision. I will totally play this game now. Darksburg. This is a cooperative survival slasher, where you have to team up to survive against the hordes of infected that have decided to settle down in a little town of Darksburg. Here you will assume the role of one of the heroic survivors or join the ranks of the devious revenants, each with their own unique skills and personalities, and master their abilities in a struggle against overwhelming odds. Also, here you will find a PvP mode where you can spend a lot of time gearing up before you realize that you actually suck at this.
How to pay.
I am not a good boy. Hot soup coming through.
Minecraft Dungeons. The action of the game takes place in a classic fantasy land enriched with strong magic elements. The plot revolves around a villain known as Arch Illager, the leader of monster armies. Players take on the role of brave adventurers, and their task is to save the village that has become this villain's target. Here you will explore dungeons, swamps, and canyons full of dangers. You'll also have to avoid pitfalls and fight monsters. One thing that distinguishes Minecraft Dungeons from other hack-and-slash games is that there is no character development. You gain more power by finding better equipment, mainly weapons. I don't know, this game might be not for everyone, or it might be a total hit, totally a black horse at this time. Katanakami, A Way of Samurai. Game takes us to an alternative version of feudal Japan. Here we are told the story of a blacksmith living near the pine tree, which is the gateway to another world. When this man was unable to pay his debts, his daughter was kidnapped. Unexpectedly, a strange samurai approached him with a proposal to help. Here your task, as a samurai of course, is to raise the money and buy out the girl, which requires hard work in the workshop and making dangerous journeys to the underworld itself.
敵やアイテムの位置が変わる自動生成ダンジョン。複数の階層からなり、深く潜るほどレアな刀や素材が出現する確率が上昇する。
Tribes of Midgard. This is a cooperative survival game in which players must resist the oncoming invasion of giants during the end of the world. Here you'll need to explore the wilderness, to craft new weapons, and to be prepared to defend the sacred center of your village from the grim shadows. Basically, this is a Norse mythology game where you can gather a group of up to 10 people and try to survive in this procedurally generated world. Last Epoch. Game takes us to the land of Eterra, which is devoured by a dark force called the Void. Its frightened inhabitants hid in the underground city. Fortunately, not everything is still lost. The main character, who is one of the survivors, goes in the search of the artifact, which will allow him to travel in time. Game looks really great. I like the graphic style, colors, and some really original looking enemies. Game is an early access, so you can try it if you have the urge. Aether. This is an action RPG built around exceptional combat and interesting challenges set within mythological Norse world. When I have heard the music and saw the dark setting of this game, I was immediately impressed. Like farts can take your breath away, music of Aether totally took my hearing, in a good sense of course. Looks like this pixel art game is truly an art. Just look at those colors and lighting. Sadly, release date isn't really clear, and I've heard many rumors that this game is some development hell, so there is a good chance that we will never see this game in flesh. Anyway, let's hope for the best. Gatewalkers. This is an indie co-op survival game which tells the story of the Gatewalkers, who are able to teleport to other mysterious lands, each of which differs in its climate and elements of the environment. Gameplay is primarily about exploring a randomly generated world, surviving, fighting with difficult weather conditions and various kinds of creatures. Game has true survival elements implemented, where you have to search for firewood to create fire, so you wouldn't die from cold. Kinda unusual mechanics in a slasher, huh? Nexia. Game is set in a fantasy world where angels and demons wage an eternal war. Here you'll have to choose between 4 playable characters with unique skills and fighting styles and fight for humanity. Here each playable character will progress through a unique storyline with character-specific interactions and dialogues. Also, you can uncover the power of Rage Form, a combat ability which allows you to shapeshift into a divinely powerful inhuman monster and eradicate your foes. Game is in early access. You can check it if you have an urge. Magic Legends. Here in this MMORPG you will be immersed in the Magic multiverse, best known from the Magic the Gathering card games. Here you can choose from 5 different hero classes like Mind Mage or Geomancer, and with your hero you'll need to cross various planes to save the multiverse as you control the chaos in real-time combat. Here you'll have to choose the spells in your library very carefully, because they'll be drawn at random as you fight, and despite the fact that this is an MMO title, you can still play it alone, or if you have friends, you can team up to 2 other players. Game will be free. Thank you for watching, my name is Coldbeer and I strongly suggest you consider subscribing, and by doing this you will never miss a good game ever again. Have a nice, productive day. Bye.